Hello, hello! Name's Annan. Today I'm back, bringing you another video of Wizard of Legend. I am very excited and happy today for a plethora of reasons, one of which being that today I'm bringing you the penultimate edition, or rather, the penultimate expansion to my favorite builds in Wizard of Legend. I am not well prepared here, so you will hear some rambling, such as I used to play this build a lot back in the days when I only played like 4 builds up and down every single day. I was having a fantastic time. So I associate this build with a lot of great memories, like the Phantom update, for example, Phase 3 Sora. This background, really, the jukebox, the nice soundtracks that's playing in the background right now that I preemptively set for this gameplay session. It's the jazzy soundtrack. I think that's purple in the jukebox. Alright, enough rambling before I just go on and on and on. Just one thing, I don't really play this build anymore because I like to try out new stuff. And I like to play good builds, not so much jank. It is one of those builds. It's not a good build, it doesn't deal a lot of damage. It's just funny, janky, trashy Arcana that you probably wouldn't be running in a real build, let alone in something like PvP. You might run this in multiplayer as an assistant, for example, but other than that, it's not a good build, so if you're looking for that, this is not for you. It's for those people that want to have fun in this game, try out new stuff, maybe test the limits a little, and yeah, let's get into it. I like to call this build Supersonic Surfing, or alternatively, Supersonic Silver Surfing, if you want an even longer name. The build idea is we're going to be using a shitload of movement arcana, as you can probably guess by the name of this build, to try to maneuver enemies into pits, and then do it all again. Either drag, push, pull, whichever works really. The only thing we don't really strive to do is kill our enemies right away, because violence is for losers, so we try to be peaceful and just let them fall to their death. Right. Simple as that. For a rope, we're gonna be going for the temperament, because run speed in this one is gonna be quite fun. And cooldown reduction, I'm just a slut for cooldown reduction. I used to build this robe in every single build I used to assemble, mainly for the cooldown reduction, because I love using abilities in this game. So naturally, that's another classic build. For our starting item, we are gonna be going for the Destructive Abacus, which lowers our cooldowns whenever we defeat foes. I.e., we throw our foes into pits, and we get our Arcana back. Very simple. Again, you could go for something like damage instead, or maybe another item for cooldown reduction, and another robe for sure, that works too. And you don't have to play this build to this exact way that I'm doing it. I'm just completely committing to the idea that we are gonna throw people into pits and then do it over again. Obviously that does not work well against bosses, it does not work against mini-bosses. Against summoners it doesn't work well, which summon those little spiky things, right, that you can't touch because then you get stun locked. So this is not by any means a viable build, but you can make it viable. I recommend you take Glacial Getaway and try to make a build around that. You can perfectly use it with a capable build that can actually dish out some damage. Just combine it with other Arcana. But here in this particular case, we're gonna be sticking with this original build ID that I subscribe to. For our Arcana, we are gonna be using some that I had never used before and that I just completely fell in love with. In fact, all of these I fell in love with, even if some of them, I'm looking at our signature here, are really not good in a regular run, let alone in boss rush. For our basic, we're going to be using Tearing Whirlwind. Sorry, Air Spinner. I'm a little excited here, I suppose. Which I had never used before, and I absolutely fell in love with in the making of this build. in case you don't know, it spins these little airy discs around you, which destroy projectiles and deal quite a hefty chunk of damage. For our dash, we're going to be using with Entangling Vines, whereas in the past, before this was remade, I used the prior version, which, in case you didn't know, works somewhat similar to something like Tunneling Drive, or any of the dashes that like leave a trail when you dash, like Searing Rush. Pardon. So you would dash, and it would shoot out a bunch of vines in front of you and deal some damage there. Right. And but today we're using this to push, drag, stun, root, poison, you know, all those kind of things, group them up, and then hit them really hard. For our standard, we are gonna be using Glacial Getaway, naturally. That is the whole key point of this build. And if there were a signature of this, and please, I need a signature of this, I would absolutely 100% not hesitate to make this the focus of the build and just toss our current signature out of the window. It's a surfboard which drags enemies that you hit with you, which allows you to float over pits for the duration and thereby drop enemies into pits. It deals okay damage, it deals good damage when it hits a big chunky enemy that can't be moved, like the black guys, the golems, a boss or mini boss. Then it deals like 50 plus damage. It's very good damage. However, on regular enemies it's not good damage. It's okay at best. If you combine this with high damage, sure, this works, but from my experience when I play this build, I rarely ever get high damage builds. Either way, moving on, our signature is going to be Tearing Whirlwind, to follow this common theme of having a movement Arcana that makes us faster, because it gives us movement speed for the duration, and allows us to drag enemies into pits. Okay, that's it, really. Let's move on. In terms of combinations and all, this is extremely simple. It's a very, very simple build. I don't think I have to explain anything here. I think you will be able to grasp it just from watching the gameplay. The intended build playstyle is also self-explanatory to a certain degree. Push enemies into pits, get cooldown resets, do it all again. Against bosses, you need to be careful, you need to be patient, and preferably find a lot of damage. But if that doesn't work, you know, just it's gonna take a long time, but you might eventually be able to kill them. For items, you can go anything you want, really, anything. There was no focus when I made this build on what items am I gonna be having. Like, you can go more cooldown reduction, you can go damage, crit chance, or candies, for example. You can go defense, though I strongly recommend not doing that. I've had plenty of runs full defense on this build, and let me tell you, it takes forever, and you might not even want to keep playing at that point. Potential problems are damage, for sure. Bosses are hard to kill. Don't play boss rush with this. It's not a boss rush build, it's just a build to push enemies into pits, and thereby preferably learn how to play the game, because it's not that difficult to play this build, and it makes flaws not trivial, I would say, but a lot easier. You don't really have to avoid any particular bosses because all of them are a challenge. So I would probably avoid Freya because she might get you screwed up, but at the same time you can dodge her rather easily. So I don't know, there's not really anyone you have to dodge. Atlas and Freya may be a little more difficult because they punish lacking movement or having too much movement and moving around the place too much. I would say that concludes this build presentation, and let's get going, shall we? Let's start this run. Hopefully we'll find some damage. I like that we are fighting Zeal first. I like to build around Glacial Getaway early on, and then later usually switch to Aspen. Now, in case you didn't know, while using Tearing Whirlwind, not only do you get a bunch of movement speed, but also you can use Entangling Vines to cancel out of Tearing Whirlwind, but also pull enemies closer at the same time and deal a bunch of damage to them. You will see me using my Arcana a lot while having downtime here, due to the immense cooldown reduction I receive from everything I do. I really want Rudra's Pinwheel. It's good damage here. It makes our basic stronger and our Tearing Whirlwind. Sorry, fumbling things here. Later during the game, just in case you found an upgrade to your dash, Entangling Vines, that usually is a very good idea to pursue. I.e., if you Tearing Whirlwind into your dash, so you cancel Tearing Whirlwind with an Entangling Vines, you can then go ahead, or you will then find yourself, I have to concentrate here, right? You will find yourself having problems sometimes, because rooting enemies is not always what you should be doing. However, for these particular situations right here, the upgrade would be fantastic, because it's just a bunch of added damage. Like, there I cancel the wind preemptively, because if I don't, at the end of this, there's always a short delay until I can use abilities again. So I will be left vulnerable after using Tearing Whirlwind for the full duration. At least that's what I feel like. That's what happens a lot. So I'm assuming that's how it works. I love Entangling Vines. It also allows for a certain degree of carelessness, as you could see right there. Try to group enemies, mostly adds from mini-bosses, but also if you get a room with a bunch of small enemies and a few big enemies, try to group them up around the big enemies so you can deal more damage by, you know, the AoE that Glacial Getaway has when you smash it into a big enemy. That usually allows you to kill off small enemies rather easily as well. Oh, we got treasure map, that's awesome. I don't think I've seen that in a regular run for a long time. And all of these kind of suck ass. Alright. What do we do? Do we take cake? Do we take... I think we just take pinwheel for now. Gotta be honest. I don't think I want any of these. Like Stealthy Halidai is kind of fun, I guess. Does it really do much? These only counts of my enemies are at full health, right? Do extra damage, but you take... I feel like this item is in general only useful when you run like single hit, big damage Arcana, like Dragonfall for example. I don't think I would ever pick it up on something like this build. Like Glacial Getaway, you could argue is a big hit. But then if it's on a small enemy, it just does like 10 damage. Cool. There's zero value from this, presumably, if I pick it up right now. And I don't think I want any of the others, but I'm contemplating here for so long. I'll just take it. I'll just take it. Let me take a look at it. 35%, but you take increased damage. I'm assuming I also take 35% increased damage. I am fine with that, I think. However, there's virtually no gain from this item, which I really don't like. I really don't like Halidai. Alright, right here we have two smaller enemies and one large size enemy. Let's do this, so they take more damage from the collision. This item is so bad. I don't see why you would ever pick this up, especially against bosses. I just take more damage against bosses. Right? Oh, great. You sons of bitches. But yeah, in case you've never used Tearing Whirlwind, you gotta be exceptionally... Oh, nice, but it's just Arcana. You gotta be exceptionally careful to, like, when you are around barrels. I'm picking up different elements here, so just in case I find an item that enhances our damage if we have different elements. You gotta be very careful around barrels to not drag them into you. It's not the smartest move, for sure. And it gets you killed very fast, because after being hit by a barrel, you are stunned for a considerable duration. I'm so excited, I feel like I'm just talking too fast, or too slowly, or too loudly. So, pardon that, if any of that is actually the case. Alright. Cool. This feels like a run where I'm already not gonna be seeing any good items. Like, when the first Cursed Merchant sells me a Halidai, and that's pretty much the best item that I could buy, you already know that it's not gonna be a good one. We can just pull him here. That works. Whoops. Yep, wrong direction. We have to go down. No upgrades. Okay, okay. I see what you're doing, trying to cuck me over there. Oh, wrong button again. Man, I'm really not used to this anymore. I was gonna try to destroy the shield on the wall. And there's the one way. Typically, you should try to get the upgrade for Glacial Getaway right away. It increases the duration, which is fantastic, since that allows you to then go ahead and have a much easier time within certain rooms, because certain rooms are just too big for you to slide across the entire room, just one usage of the Arcana. Besides, it also makes traversing floors a whole lot more convenient. I'm considering getting these two here. However, Venom Stone is a little bit of a bummer sometimes when you're in the middle of pushing people around and they just get rooted and stuck in place and attack you. It's not good, usually. Using additional Arcana lowers cooldowns for all Arcana with that same element. I'm getting a Firestone here, I think. Oh, let's fuck it. Let's commit. Let's just commit. Commit to the bullshit, alright? This entire run is gonna be full of trash. But I'm used to that. Honestly, shit happens all the time when I'm not playing Boss Rush. and Helidai is just so fucking useless. I'm just picking up the more enhanced Arcana here to have the slightest bit of a chance to be receiving more damage later at a cursed vendor. Have I ever come across any more Noxus? Stones are generally okay if you are in the middle of a bunch of enemies. But I find them to be quite lackluster at times. Oh my god, why? I'm just stuttering like a motherfucker the entire time. I apologize. As I said at the beginning of the video, I have not played this build for a considerable amount of time. Meaning that I am absolutely not in my comfy zone here. Look you, boy. Oh, come on. Why are you doing me like this? And I get vampire fangs. Oh, well, commit to the bullshit. This item usually isn't bad, but we are not playing a build that's gonna crit a bunch, so even if we get the transformation, it's not gonna do anything for us. Let's uncover the portal room first. Just so we can CP right back. Bye bye. Bye bye, fuckboy. Interestingly enough, these candles, or lights I suppose, count as major enemies, so if you just smash your body into them, the Glacial Getaway server will actually explode. I suppose that's because it's not so much about how colossal is an enemy, but more so about, are they rather stuck in place, or are they mobile? And clearly the candles are immobile. And the rather large enemies are rather slow as well, so maybe they count that as immobile as well. Who knows? Alright, let's get the upgrade here. We're gonna be getting both upgrades soon enough. Just playing really aggressively because Summoner absolutely cucks this build. Like any melee build, really. When you can't deal with the bladed gems, obviously you have to do something about it, otherwise he's just gonna fuck you up. Yes, you can play that slowly and patiently, not take any damage, but that'd be boring, wouldn't it? Now we got some health orbs left. coming up. So I think it was absolutely justifiable just going full ham there. It's unfortunate we didn't get up to 100 gold again, so we are not going to be able to get our robe upgrade, but let's be fair, the temper robe upgrade is not a good upgrade anyway. It's just basically ignore the run speed, but get more cooldown reduction. Just slightly more cooldown reduction, you know. What's it like, 7%? If I recall correctly. Some robe upgrades really ain't worth it, but usually it's like with the fairies, right? I do consider it worth it for the shimmering and shining. I don't care much about the stats, usually. Just nice to have something pleasing to look at. I failed grouping them up there, but that's okay. Oh man. We are really working against the build here. Just rooting enemies all the time, not having any damage, just taking more damage from all sources. We are working against this build idea with everything we got. Cobalt Stone OP, let's go. I'm kind of hoping that I can find more stones, otherwise this run is just a little bit of a disaster. At least if I find more stones, I'm gonna be having something very pleasant to look at. Whereas right now, it's more eh. It's just 2, like, how often have you seen 2 in the same run? Quite often, I presume. Come on. Just gonna play it a little more careful here. Yeah. That just flew out of the window. Alright. Let's do this for good measure. I don't think it's gonna help us by any means, but who knows. Oh my god, really? 4 wind, 1 earth? What in the fuck? What in the actual fuck is going on? I'm sorry, what? Wait, we got more wind damage. Maybe, what's this called? Like, I don't want fading petals or whatever the fuck this one's called. I don't ever use wind. I'm assuming this one's better than this. Because it's just the short tornadoes. This one is a little longer. It's just 1 projectile, might deal a little more damage. I'll keep engulfing with the same reasoning as earlier. Let's just do it. Oh, and it has 2 charges because it's enhanced. Come here. Come here, big boy. Right, finally a helpful item, thank you. We don't need our signature pretty much ever, so... That's always acceptable. Just like taking risks to just be more entertaining and having fun, right? Such as picking a complete trash build with a bunch of complete trash items and trying to make it work, eh? I don't know about you, but I'm having a blast, sure as hell. Does this stun? Yes. And it destroys projectiles, so it's not completely useless. That's interesting. I don't think I would ever really use it for that. I'm assuming it gets destroyed on the first projectile destroy. Alright, I think we're done here. Just make sure to double check. Like, there's pretty much just garbage up here. Like yes, I could go piggy bank, but realistically, what does it do at this point in the game? I'm already at 2-2. Do I really need more money? I'm already at 250. What am I gonna buy with that? Like, 2 mirrors, or like, what's the idea here? I don't think that'd really be worth it. Yes, financially, it would certainly be worth it. However, the effort, man, and the potential damage I might take. I like the cooldown on my Wind Arcana. I really do. I think it's fantastic. Very short cooldown. And destroys projectiles. That sounds fun. Maelstrom. I'm not sure would I prefer keeping the Maelstrom here. The problem with it is it's too slow for Sora, and unlike a jump, I can't really cancel it or control it all that well. It's a little risque. It gets you killed sometimes. Or it gets me killed sometimes when I use it against a very fast boss. And I'm getting cocky. That works. And we get an unenhanced Arcana that we can train. How did I not just get hit there by one of the black guys? What the fuck? I was expecting to be hit there. Alright, we got Nox. That's cool. My homie Nox, back at it again. Maybe this run is not over yet, you know? Like, I wouldn't end it even if I had just gotten absolute trash items the entire run. Because it's fun. I don't get how people disagree on me. Like, on that. It's... Sorry. Did I say on me? I meant... I don't really get how people disagree with me on that. Sure, the game takes a lot longer. It feels sluggish at times when you don't have damage and when you're running absolute jank and everything just takes forever, but in a way, challenging yourself is very fun. Especially when you've done the same kind of activity, such as playing this game, for an extended period of time. And, you know, you can only play so many boring fireball builds that are just completely broken and charge the signature up to 110% in 2 seconds and then destroy everything in 2 hits or so before you get bored. So I don't really get how people keep playing the same boring builds, the same overpowered stuff, like using that Chaos Dash, you know, the best dash in this game. I don't really ever use that dash because I'm afraid it will give me some kind of burnout syndrome. I try to use it very sparingly, only for few select activities. builds being those activities. Maybe things related to Phase 3 Sura or like a pure chaos theme. And rarely to show them off in multiplayer, probably because... Not so much because the dash is broken, but more so because I just enjoy having a dash that can dash through walls. I feel like that's fantastic. That's just very fun. It screams fun. You can't really do anything creative with it. In that fashion, it's more about speedrunning the game and dodging everything. But imagine if there were something creative to do with maybe like shooting an ability through a wall or something. That'd be cool. Being able to shoot water dragons, you know, the signature through walls, for example. I think that'd be very cool. Am I going cozy this year? No, I'm not. I might get Double Trouble. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't think I'm playing this build well enough currently to justify taking Double Trouble. But on the other hand, that's another risk worth taking, right? Whereas Double-Edged, it usually makes things a little boring. Paranomassacre, I could go for that, sure. Enemy attacks pack an extra punch, alright. Let's beat the boss first before we decide. We might find something like a Mimic again. Like the other day I was like, yeah, RNG does not exist, and then I got dropped a Mimic on Final 4 after having sold all of my items. Shit like that ain't funny when it happens to you. No items. I don't feel like having Double Trouble. I don't really feel like Paranomassacre either, though. Definitely not feeling like Cestus. I guess we'll say fuck it. We're playing boss rush right now. Let's just go Double Trouble. Should I grab this in case we find? Wait, who haven't we found? We haven't. Have we found Doctor? Did we see Doctor? I think we did, so it's probably unlikely that we'll see her again, i.e. I should probably not do this. Yeah, let's just go. Let's just go. I'm considering getting a noise filter, like a white noise filter for this headset. I haven't had it for a long time. It's a much higher quality than what I were originally used to, so I'm not used to not having a white noise filter on, and I don't really like you being able to, or me being able to hear the clicks of my controller, for example. That may be calming to some people, but to me it has kind of the opposite effect, since I'm trying to, when I watch a video, listen to what they're saying and listen to their fucking controller. I feel like we're having an okay time, even due to the Halidar here. We got Pinata, that's a little annoying, but that's just what it is. Oh shit. That hit me. I was not expecting that to have an aftermath effect. Holy crap, that damage. That damage, though. Come here. Come here, you guys. Fuck you. Thanks. I think we got a rather interesting combo. I wouldn't say great, but certainly interesting. You do not take contact damage from, like, the slimes, for example. When you Glacial Getaway through them, which is great. I love that. It's always fun. Alright, again, we still get garbage items. I mean, Pathfinder is like an item you really don't have to keep. Boots of Celerity could be okay-ish. We don't really need that. Thesis, it's much too late for this, and Bracers I personally don't use, and I think it's way too risky to use this when you are not up to the task and when you got something like double trouble in your inventory. So, yikes. Wanderers, unfortunately, is completely useless at this point. Oh, man. I guess I'll just run with Celerity for now, because it's the only feasible choice here. And I'll keep exploring this floor. Usually I would skip it, but we have coral, so let's use those. Well, like 2% damage increase that we can get here. Try to min-max, since we don't really have much going for us currently, anyway. I'm not sure we can beat this. Yeah, we can. Even though I fumbled the Glacial Getaway there quite a bit. I tried to ram it into the wall, and I think I succeeded. I feel like sometimes it explodes. I really don't understand how it works. I haven't really been paying attention, ever. I don't play this game to learn something, okay? I play this game to have fun. Oh, see right there? This guy? Had it not been for the venomous whatever... I can't talk. Had it not been for the venomous whatever stone, root stone, whatever you want to call it. I don't fucking know what it's called. I don't care. What do you think? I'm intelligent? Fuck no. We don't do that here. Either way, had it not been for this item, I definitely would have pushed him into the pit. As you can see right there, this can definitely screw you up. At large scale, if there's not just one archer aiming at you while poisoned, but a bunch. So usually you shouldn't pick up stones, but in this particular case, I'm trying to be rather entertaining on this. Also, why the fuck am I seeing Summoner again? Oh my god, just look at that. Just look at that madness. Absolute nightmare, boss. More fire damage. Well, that's unfortunate. Don't think that's gonna be happening anytime soon. I'm considering actually getting a healing pot here, though I know I won't need one. What do we do? What do we do? I mean, this sucks. I know that. It's not good. And I got 2 decent wind Arcana that I actually know how to use, so I'm gonna be wielding those for Sora. But for now, I'm gonna be using the Terra... what's it called? Terra Ring, which is fantastic. And then maybe this, because projectile destruction seems to do next to nothing to this boss. And this wind Arcana is actually probably okay at beating the little propeller heads, which are just the biggest problem with this fight anyway. That was unnecessary. Nope, I could not. I tried, but holy shit, are they fast. If Glacial Getaway, the literal getaway ability, can get away from that, I don't think any ability can. Well, obviously some can. Because Ice Block and other iframe Arcana are just busted. I hope you can see that I'm not just playing like a fucking idiot here because I'm stupid. It's just for fun for the most part. Sure, I could be playing safely and all that shit, but where would the fun in that be? I'm already playing a build that I've played 100 fucking times. Might as well have some fun with it, yeah? Look at that, beautiful. Oh god. Not this again. Alright, we beat them relatively unscathed. And now I can just move on. Empire glasses, of course. And then other than that, we get the thesis again. No thanks. Hey, so we finally have 500 health again. That's cool. I guess. What do we get rid of? Well, easy choice. Ring does next to nothing, right? In single player. Get these two, I suppose. We could get Curse Eaters. How many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. I suppose that's worth it. 5% damage boost, effectively 10. What do we get? What do we get rid of? Celerity. Let's just kick Celerity. 3% and 45 max health. Which is the armor better or is the potential damage better? I say armor. Let's go. I need to re-equip Stormdraft here. Which, yeah, it does much less damage. Obviously. But I don't care. I got increased wind damage. I'm going for that shit. Just look at that, we're dealing damage. It's totally just our build. It couldn't possibly be double trouble carrying us here. What do you mean? Oh, wrong direction. Whoop. I think my controller is broken. We need more excuses in here. This was the most chill, derpy Sora fight I've had in a long time. That was fun. That was a fun run for sure. I would not say that I could really show off strengths and weaknesses of this build. But one thing for the future, you see damage like Sharpened Stylus, you know your signature is Tearing Whirlwind. Go ahead and take the Stylus. Do yourself a favor because Tearing Whirlwind doesn't matter if you have 100% increased signature charge rate. This signature is terrible. You don't want to use it for the charged version. Just go ahead, do yourself a favor, get damage, and you'll be fine. 12% cool damage. Alright. Okay. GG, that was fun. As always, playing this build. Really looking forward to the next one. I just can't get enough of it. It is rather recent. I'm not gonna spoil you here, but maybe a tiny spoiler. It's a combo build. It's not about jank. It's not about high burst damage or anything. It's just pure combo, which means that cooldown reduction is gonna be involved, as per usual. I don't have a speech for you today, except I humbly apologize for the stuttering and the stupidity, really, in this run. I was just very happy. I am indeed still very happy, and having a great time playing this game. And I hope that you can have a good time too, playing this build, or maybe your own. And again, I don't really have a speech. I'm trying to come up with something here, but either way, alright, let me end it like this. Thanks for watching. Have a good day or night, or whatever time zone you're currently in. Oh, well, that was terrible. Let me try again. Have a good day or night, or whatever else time of day, in whatever time zone you are in, on whatever planet, and in whichever solar system. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.